Hey guys, I'm going to open up a video here for kind of a lab style build for the machine we called the Chihuahua. And the reason we called it a Chihuahua is because it's a budget build, small build kind of system. Originally this was going to be designed for Xcode builds, aka Hackintosh. Being that I found another way to get through that workflow, I'm going to build something different with my spouse Jasmine, and we're going to do this build, and it's more practice. So it's going to be lab style, kind of an interesting walk through some of the parts, but then kind of actually show the entire build. The idea is learning, kind of exploring some of the new technologies, and being, it's a budget build, so it's going to be a fairly simple one, but we're just going to get through it. So stay tuned. Some of the parts that we have here, it's like I said, a budget build, so some of these parts are not the latest and greatest PC Master Race kind of stuff, but I just want to show a little bit about what we are building. A couple little things that are the small stuff are going to be installing the USB stick that's got Mac OS on it. This is for PC speaker. It's a good idea when motherboards like this particular one that don't have any post codes, that at least you can get some kind of sound out of it, and it's worth it. Going to use a relatively inexpensive SSD. This is not, super performance, but it's very good for budget builds. It's a standard serial ATA. This is a ½ terabyte, so it's good enough for what we're going to be using for it. Yeah, it's not a Samsung type of performance level, but it's perfect for what this needs to be. Secondary drive for backups purposes, really, and that's about it. All right. I happen to like Corsair memory. This is a standard DDR4, your regular non-XMB 2133 megahertz. So these are reliable. I have them in another machine that I built. So I'm going to go ahead and just go with base clock. This is a non-overclocked system, which I'll show you in a second what it actually is running. And like I said, will do the job. Let's move on to specifics of, this is, like I said, a budget build. This is a 6100. This particular i3 has the greatest value for your money. Yes, it's all the way at the bottom of the tier as far as Skylake is concerned, but for what you get performance-wise out of this, for what you pay for it, this is the highest value. Some other neat things about this is it supports ECC memory. This particular board is not an ECC board, but it's just a neat little thing that the Skylake i3 had that the Kaby Lake does not have. All right. Coupled with this, because we're doing, you can turn this around, you can see, we're not going to have a video card in this. We're going to go with iGPU, so 500 watt EVGA power supply is certainly good enough. This is an 80 plus, so it's certainly got decent coverage for for the headroom for some of the power. And this is certainly not going to use as much power as what this thing, even the small power supply, will put out. So we're good here. All right, for cooling, I'm going to go with a low profile Noctua coolant. This particular one is really good for just about anything. I would say you could probably get away with this on a 6700K if you really wanted to. However, this isn't, so this is more than enough, and we're not obviously going to do any kind of overclocking, so this is good. This is going to do just fine. Also, while we're talking about Noctua, they happen to be one of the more reliable, very reliable coolers. So this is a fun little Apple trackpad that we're going to use. I've got some other little goodies that we'll show just to enhance the couple of ports and things that we're going to have in here. Bluetooth. This is a LAN that we're going to have since there's no Wi-Fi on there. So basically this will give us, actually, I'm sorry, this is not a Wi-Fi. As you can see, this is a FireWire connection. Yes. So yeah, because we're using a FireWire 800 actually camera, and the intention that we could plug some of the peripherals that I do have on some of my Apple systems that use FireWire. This one's the LAN, or the WAN, I should say. This is the wireless adapter, since this motherboard does not have wireless on it. And Hackintoshes are particular about the kind of hardware that they support. So this one is well supported and works beautifully. Now for the heart of the system. This is a budget Z170 board from Gigabyte. I really like Gigabyte boards. They're very reliable, and in particular the ultra durable. So being this is a Skylake build, I wanted to go with one of the Z or Z series because this does give you overclocking room. If we decided to put something a little bit stronger in here, we absolutely could. But also it gives you a little bit extra PCIe lanes through your bus. So it also gives me some extra abilities. We're going with a ATX build for this, so we're going to have a lot of space in this machine for extra expandability if we want to actually drop a really cool NVIDIA card in this later. Likely this box will turn into a Linux box anyway, so probably we'll be seeing some NVIDIA cards in the near future. Let's take a quick look at the board before we jump in, and ooh, unboxing. Sexy. There we go. See what I mean about this? This is a budget board, but yet look at how pretty this is. This is so well designed. We've got four DDR4 sockets that we can use, and it's, you know, again, because it's ATX. But this board actually can go up to quite a few different speeds. It doesn't have to stay at the 2100. It actually supports XMD. So if I do want to put some overclocking memory in here, I could. And yeah, so we've got, this is a little bit unusual, I guess, because this is one of the lower end boards. It doesn't have a whole lot of PCIe slots on there. It actually has some PCI, like actual legacy 32-bit PCI slots. I don't have any PCI slots to put on here, but yeah, it has them for, I guess, legacy support. It does support AMD Crossfire. It's not an SLI certified board, so NVIDIA stuff, but none of that is relevant for what we're going to build here. This literally, I just wanted at least one graphic 16X lane that I could use for a future expandability. But really, to be quite honest, we're going to use serial ATA, which is in here, and we're going to use the standard DVI or the HDMI support for the video. And, you know, honestly, very simple stuff. It has an ALSA chipset, I believe in 887. It's definitely supported, and it's supported by Linux as well. So yes, there's very little frills and thrills on this board, but this is a workstation, and it's designed to kind of do some work, write some software, do some compiles. I don't need a lot of stuff on here, don't need overclocking or any of these things. It's literally, this is just a good, reliable PC. So there you go. That's where we're going to start. And from here, we're going to take it and jump into the build. And like I said, lab style. We're going to ask some questions, just discuss a few things, and stay tuned. Till then, folks, till then. When we come back, we're going to start the PC build for Lola, the i3 simplistic build. Hope to see you then, folks. Till then, till then.